Welcome to the Popish Plot. I'm Mike.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Nate.
And this is Archangels We Have Heard on High. I've said it, now you have to title the episode that.
All right.
Okay.
So,
We did not talk about this beforehand.
it's an ambush.
Fair enough.
Okay.
If today was not Sunday, September 29th would be the feast of Saints Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. Now, back in the day, but of course it's Sunday, and Jesus takes priority over everything,
That's right.
which is awesome.
Because it's all because of Jesus.
It's all because of Jesus. The only reason we care about archangels? Because of Jesus. Mm-hmm. Archangels always point to Jesus. Back in the day, when all these three archangels had separate feasts, September 29th was known as Michaelmas, the Mass of Michael. But since the revision of the calendar, some years before any of us were born, the three of them have been observed together on the one day. So we thought we'd just tell you a little bit about these three named archangels. So, let's start with Nate. Because Nate was a Protestant, and Protestants don't know much about angels. So Nate.
But that's all right. Because my archangel, Gabriel, happens to be noted the most out of all the three.
That's not true.
No?
He's in more separate things, but Raphael's in a whole book.
You're right.
You're right. He's in the biblical buddy comedy.
Yeah.
Well, but in fairness,
They need to
I
make a film of
come
that.
from a background wherein that book
Tobit was not in his Bible.
is non-existent.
It was hidden. It was apocryphal. Maybe it was in the back of your Bible.
It didn't really matter with regards to the Bible.
Silly
where I
person.
came from.
It was not in the back of this Bible, because the first time he saw my Bible, he's like, what's with all these
What's
extra bugs?
what's all these funny books?
So, that's a subject for another time. Gabriel, go!
Gabriel. So, we first see Gabriel in Daniel.
Ooh. Now, Daniel's a very long, crazy book.
Daniel's a very long, crazy book, and Daniel has got a lot of visions in it.
Indeed.
Some are ones that other people had, which he interpreted. Some are ones which he had and was not capable of interpreting himself.
With the irony.
So, God sends an angel, the angel Gabriel, to go and explain what those visions meant. We then jump forward
A lot.
a lot.
70 weeks of years, maybe.
70 weeks of years. What the heck is a week of a year?
This is what Gabriel says. A week of years. 7 years.
Okay.
70 times 7 years, 490 years between Daniel in the exile and then...
I got you.
Biblical math is super complicated.
Seriously.
But fuzzily accurate.
Ish.
The ancient Israelites had hit a weird way for accounting for time. But anyways, I digress.
I think we're to Luke now.
We get to the book of Luke. When we see the angel Gabriel again meeting with Zechariah, the soon-to-be father of John the Baptist.
Which he thinks is crazy.
He thinks it's crazy. His wife is super old. She's not going to have any more babies.
Super barren.
Well, there's no precedent anywhere in the Bible of old women having babies.
Never happens.
So
Especially not after you pray for them.
Or an angel appears.
Given his insolence,
That's good.
the angel Gabriel strikes Zechariah until he's dumb.
No. He strikes him dumb, or in modern words, mute.
He was already dumb, which was why he was insolent to an archangel.
He was in
not
the
smart.
temple, an angel shows up, and he's like, yeah, I know, you're just playing me, man.
Whatever.
I'm sorry. I don't understand what's different between what I said and what you're saying.
It's a subtle difference.
All right, well, anyways.
We'll hit him with the Bible more, then he'll understand.
You'd think that'd be the last you see of Gabriel. Until all of a sudden, he shows up in the room of this young Jewish woman.
Just 6 months later.
Yeah. Just shows up and says, hey, guess what?
What?
You're going to have a son.
And she asks a question about that.
She asks a question, how's that going to happen? And he says, well, because it's going to happen. And she does what is considered, in my opinion, to be one of the best things in all of the Bible characters doing, at least all those who did not have a divine nature, and says, all right, well, if you say so, if God says so, it's got to happen.
Mm-hmm. And thank God she did.
And approximately 9 months later,
Christmas! Actually, I'm not that excited about Christmas, but you know.
So Gabriel,
but you are that excited about the incarnation.
Yes.
so Gabriel's a fairly influential
Holiday versus the
archangel.
one-time event, you know.
And what does the name Gabriel mean?
God is my strength.
Amen. We now move on, since I'm Mike, to Michael, for which we turn to Jessica.
Ooh, yay! Well, you already should know what Michael means.
And you know, I do get, you know, a little too much Michael stuff, like somebody gave me this St. Michael the Archangel, my holy hour journal, just because my name is Michael. And he's my confirmation saint, because I was a really bad Catholic then, and he was one of the few saints I knew.
Yeah,
so,
no one sends me St. Jessica stuff.
There is no St. Jessica, you'll be the first.
Well,
Saint Jessica.
Your name was invented like 2 centuries ago. So
by Shakespeare.
Yeah.
Some people insist that Joanne
Well, if it was
is a
Shakespeare,
variation,
then it's
but,
more. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can be the first.
Anyway, St. Michael.
Saint Jessica. It's going to be great.
St. Michael is the one who gets always pictured with a sword.
Because he's awesome.
Yes, and because...
And swords are cool.
And swords are cool.
Sha.
And because he is in the book of Revelation.
Ooh.
Because he is the one who, when Satan said, you know what, I'm totally going to overthrow heaven, yelled, who is like God, which is what his name means, and then promptly smote him.
Righteous smiting. Who doesn't love some righteous smiting?
Did he strike him till he was dumb, though?
Well, he struck him till he fell to the earth.
Oh, that totally outweighs it. Yeah,
He lost the war in heaven. Thank God.
he struck him down.
And he is the one angel that gets pictured everywhere wearing, like, you know, armor instead of, you know, little halos with harps and frilly things.
Because Michael is a great warrior. Michael was particularly the defender of Israel, and the church is the new Israel. It all works.
I'm just saying, you know, angels are formed in military situations, like their actual terms in the Bible are, you know, military groups, but you only imagine babies that are fat and chubby and with harps. He's the one where you're like, yes, he has a sword
That's an
and
angel.
armor, and he is going to kick some butt.
At some point in the future, we'll have to discuss on an episode the difference between actual cherubim and then cherubs. Which
Yes.
aren't actually cherubs, those are puto, but again, we'll have to discuss that
Real
some other time.
children, like all higher level angels, are freaky and scary.
Terrifying! They have 6 wings. Okay.
Whereas cherubs are some sort of like secular bastardization of angels. And
There you go.
It was
It's-
from like mythology.
yes, and based off of like Greek gods and things.
Regardless, angels are not fat babies, as adorable
No.
as fat babies are. I
At
love,
least most angels
I
are.
love a fat baby.
I mean, each angel is like its own species, so
Some of
There
theoretically,
could be
there's
one
probably
that's like
one or
a fat
two that's like a
baby.
fat baby.
Some have theorized that. Of course, they also don't have bodies, so they just sort of appear. So,
Anyway,
we've
Raphael.
covered Gabriel. We've covered Michael, all of whom appear in everybody's Bible. We now move on to Raphael or Raphael, who only appears in proper Bibles, which means those held by Catholics and Orthodox. Now, we actually know, the reason why I had to disagree with Nate earlier, we know the most about Raphael because he is a main star of the Book of Tobit.
Huh?
From beginning to end, he's all over the thing. Like, Michael is referenced in a few places. You know, Gabriel's got some great lines of dialogue, absolutely crucial to salvation.
And Gabriel
Gabriel
is the,
gives us the start of the Hail Mary.
A big fan. Big fan.
He is the one angel who does his job of being a messenger, in that he actually shows up, delivers a message, and leaves. Raphael went on an adventure, which
He
please
did.
tell us about.
But God told him to go on the adventure.
Of course.
The Book of Tobit is great. It's got an old guy who kind of wants to die. It's got a girl whose husbands keep dying.
From
It's got,
demons.
just one demon. The evil Asmodeus, who's a jerk. It's got his son with a very similar name. So Tobit sends his son Tobias on this amazing adventure, and he's accompanied by a fellow named Azarias, who's not actually Azarias the entire time. It's Raphael in disguise. We know this, spoilers, from the very beginning, and we know that he's Raphael the entire time. They have adventures, he cures people, he finds lost money, he drives off and blinds the demon. I didn't know you could blind demons until I read that. It was great. And then
Hey, if you've smelled a bad fish, it would blind anyone.
he takes the guts of a fish, because God always loves to work through his creation, and uses those fish guts to cure blindness. Because his name means, it is God who heals or God has healed. He's all about healing because that's what Jesus, the divine physician, wants to do. And he has an appropriately named angel. At the end, he announces to Tobit and Tobias, "Hey, it was me the entire time. I'm Raphael, one of the 7 who stand before the throne of the Lord, presenting the prayers of the saints." It is fantastic. Now, of course, Raphael's not that well known in the English-speaking world because of the Protestant Reformation and the tossing out of the Book of Tobit. So, kind of unusual in Anglo-America to find lots of people named Raphael. But
he was one of the Ninja Turtles.
So most people think of the name Raphael. They don't even think of the Renaissance artist after whom he was named. But in those countries where a Romance language predominates, you'll find a lot more people named Raphael. So, today, if it was not the, 26th Sunday in Ordinary Time?
That sounds about right.
We'd be celebrating the feast of Saints Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael, the 3 named archangels. And according to Raphael's statement that there are 7, there are 4 more whose names we don't know. Maybe one day.
Well, I'm certain one day, at least those of us who make it into the presence of the Lord will know the other 4 names.
There you go.
However, since the canon is closed, as far as the divine revelation of the other 4's names, it's
technically
questionable.
The canon is not closed. However, nothing would show up and fit the criteria for the canon.
Yes.
The canon isn't closed, but divine revelation has ceased.
Yes.
The public revelation.
I'm just saying, if you found something new from the apostles, it would not fit the criteria of we've been reading it in the church since the beginning.
Exactly. It might be valuable and interesting. Mm-hmm. So, go out there and pray for the intercession of the archangels. They're awesome, and all they want to do is help.
And do what God and do what God tells them.
And that's a great thing about angels. They do precisely what God tells them. Not like us. We vacillate. Them,
Yeah.
they've already decided.
They made their mind.
Well,
So-
you can see them face to face, so,
Yeah.
I'm certain a lot of it is lost in translation for even when we're trying. We totally mess up because, it seemed like a good idea.
And I'm not saying that speaking to him face to face isn't great and isn't what we're all looking forward to, but we get to receive him into our bodies, which they don't.
Yes.
I do love that quote.
Possibly Maximilian Kolbe stated that if the angels could be jealous, it would be for that.
Precisely. So, Saints Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael,
Pray for us.
And until next time,
Remember to live your faith.
Love your faith.
share that love.
Now,
Struck him dumb.
should I stop all this
Yes.
and save it, or
Yeah.
do we want to just keep
Stop
going?
and save because
Stop, save, transfer.
it's hard
Because
for me.
Jess doesn't like having to try and parse all of it out.